Good afternoon and welcome again to Art for the Ageless. This is our 22nd class, and today we will be giving out certificates for all those students who at least attended 3 out of the 4 art classes. Today we are going to study abstract landscapes. First, let's take a look at some of our choices. As you can tell, there are vibrant colors. So in front of you right now, let's look at those colors. In the little tubes, or rather the paint that came from the tubes that's in the jar, the house that Jack built, red, blue, and yellow. So let's take our caps off very easily. Just hold it at the lip and pull back. Students at the back, I don't believe that is a supply table. So if you want to attend the classes, please move forward. Oh. Yeah, there's a place in front, on the sides. Yes, you should have a complete set of supplies. And also during the class, would you please sign in so we know who you are?
Yes.
Thank you. This is a little makeshift palette, and on it you will find the red-violet color and a black. All right, today we're very pleased to bring you 2 different colors that I don't usually use. The red-violet is from a tube, and also the black. So you have to be very cautious. All right, with our first one, it was done in a certain technique, which we're going to discuss. The colors were allowed to run both ways and combine. Over here, it is, of course, very obvious that I started with a blue, turned it upside down, and did yellow, and then ran the blue through it. Again, the technique of tipping and sideways diagonal. Okay, that's the technique. In this one, of course, there is the impression of mountains. In these, of course, the most exciting thing was the salt thrower. So you will find on your table, but not mine. Beverly, in the back, would you please see if there's a small container of salt so that I can demonstrate? Thank you. You have a small container, a lid jar with salt in it, and it's to share. Okay, it's to share, okay? If you don't have that, the salt shaker is somewhere over there. Thank you, Beverly. Oh, okay, great. Low sodium. Okay. Over here, of course, we combined the blue and the red-violet, turned it upside down, and again, just let the colors splash. Wherever the paper was wet, I threw the salt, because the salt will absorb the color and turn out like little stars. So if you want to make a nice night sky, just grab your salt and spritz. Over here, I began to be more defined with the yellow, and wanting to experiment with the black, began to see what would happen. A lot of turning. This one especially, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And that's that exploration that we're going to do today. You don't know what's going to happen. And all you can do is hang on to a few thoughts. And here are those thoughts. What is abstract? It is a very loose technique. If you were doing traditional watercolor, you practically spell it out for everybody. This is a waterfall, this is a lake. You don't have to tell anybody, it's there, all right? But if you're doing an abstract watercolor, you must be very loose, you must let it flow, you must let your imagination take over. There's a lot of frivolity that's involved also in this technique. I started with the principles of design and added imagination, because that is the foremost. Emphasis, of course, is focus. What pulls you in? What feature is there? The balance is probably, I gave it a 2-star, is the most important thing when you're doing an abstract. Balance, the line. Is it thin? Is it thick? Is it going to give me weight on the bottom, or is there weight on the top? Everything has to be balanced. The color must balance. If you are putting red here, you must put red there, or a small bit. Contrast. A lot of you who have attended the classes know how to get complementary colors. They are the opposites. Red to green, yellow to violet, and so on. The next thing important, proportion. We call it shape, all right? Is a shape forming? Is it amorphic? Can you identify it? Repetition, pattern. I call it pattern because if I see some kind of pattern evolving, you must repeat that pattern at least 3 places. The movement, of course, is the flow. Which way is this water flowing? Because what we're going to do is a technique of wet on wet. Now the paper will dry quickly, and so you either re-wet it or have a sharp edge. White space, I'm going to cross out the white and just say there's space. We're looking for space. So again, technique is wet on dry. Layering, something will dry, you may want to go over it. It has to be kept loose. The theme is merely a suggestion. What do you think you're doing? What is it evolving into? The observer may think something completely different from your idea. You must avoid overwork. Overwork is a killer. I tell you, if you start overworking something, you're going to be angry at yourself because it isn't what you feel. It's just something that you labored at. If you're going to labor at that, might as well not start it in the first place. Our edges are going to vary. They're going to be soft and blurred, or they're going to be hard. Well, so much said, let's just take a very quick look at what we were talking about and see if we can relate it. Okay. Hard edges. They were soft, and then I went and took the black paint and just made them a little harder. Layering yellow into something else is just vibrant. Place it. Something snuck that way, fine. Let's just take the brush and let it sneak a little further. This got dry, and so it stopped whatever was happening here, same as here. All right, word of caution, the rubber band. If you do not want to use the rubber band, we placed some metal clamps on the back supply table. If you do want to go ahead and use the rubber band, which I've never seen used before because it is dangerous, usually we use masking tape, right? We use masking tape. If you're going to remove the rubber band and put it back on, which you'll be doing because I hope we'll do about 4, you must hold one part of the board firmly and stretch, and then the other side. Again, when you take it off, you must hold the other side either very firmly or just one finger and let it go. Don't attempt to let it fly because it will fly. Before, starting again, are we? Okay, take your rubber band right now. Did I tell you to put it on the board? No, I didn't. No, you're not listening. Hold it in your hand and stretch it. Come on, give it a good one. Okay, turn it, stretch it again. This will ensure that it's not going to fly in your eye, okay? Gee. All right, let's do the other one. Isn't that fun? See? Yes, you're having your aerobic lesson today. That's another thing I never mentioned before. For those of you, such as myself, have arthritis in our fingers and have fingers that lock up on us. Not funny. This can help, a lot of hot water and this, okay? And that hurts, okay. All right, let's take our paper, and we're sharing paper. On one side, there's an X. That means don't paint here. Paint on me. Let's put our paper down. Also, these are new rubber bands because once they get a little bit old and you see them stretch a little too much, you need to be very careful because they will snap at you. That happened to me during one of the shows. It wasn't funny. I didn't know what it was. Okay, we're holding this and bringing it about an inch. What's nice about this, you get a nice crisp white line when you're finished. Okay. Holding it down and stretching it and being ever so careful. Even when you move it, just be ever so careful. I'll probably be the first one to get smacked in the face again. So careless. All right. Now this is your drip pad. So put this underneath the board. This is the soft side, the absorbent side. The other side is a little slicker. You want the absorbent side. Things come to to pass, you're going to be dripping onto this, not the floor, not the table. Okay. Now, do we all have a pad? All right, please, again, place it the long way under, on the table. All right, let us take our large brush, and we have 3 brushes today. We have 12, which is the big one. The middle-sized one, that was a 6. Where are you? Oh, it's an 8. Okay, that's an 8. And the little one is probably a 6 or a 4. Swish, 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 swish. Essential. You are going to use this. This is your little life-saving device. Also, there is a rule. Do not touch one paint into the other paint without washing the brush first. You will contaminate the paint, especially the yellow. All right, holding it over your pad, and I don't care if you want to hold it flat or you want to lift it up and angle it. That's up to you. We are going to just put water all over the place. And it's so wonderful with the rubber band because it just stops the water. You know, if I was brave enough to put the rubber band the other way, I would. But I am not that brave. I'm afraid it would snap. So I'm taking the coward's way out. Now you say, okay, you did it once. Isn't that enough? No, it isn't. Do it again. Do it again. Because it dries so quick. Already it's starting to drip.
How many pounds is this paper?
140 pounds watercolor paper. Comes in a package of 30, and it's very thick. All right, now I am going to start with the blue, and I'm going to have to put this down so I can take my little jar out, and I'm going to take my blue, and let's do it. And let's watch it. If you want to see a gradation, you have a choice of either just letting it drip, or you can give it what they call a wall of water, which is taking your brush loaded with water and striking the last stroke that you did, and just let it drip down. So this is one of our techniques. Just drip. Let it just drip. Wash your brush, touch it to the towel, and now you have to decide. Okay, I think I'm going to do yellow, so I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to go into my yellow, and I'm going to start up here, as bold as I can be, and I'm going to let it go the other way. If you want, you can go this way. You can go the other way. Or you can just let it keep going. I'm going to let it keep going and see what happens. The more water, the faster that paint is going to travel down. Maybe it'll do something that inspires me, I don't know. Basically, what we're doing is the first or initial steps. I'm going to show you. This is the first steps of just taking 2 colors and letting them blend and maybe throwing some splatter. All right, so I got some heavy green over here. I like that. You take a look. If you want to turn it the other way and see what happens if it drips down the other way. Sometimes with abstract paintings, either way is fine. Okay. So we're observing the effects of the very, very loose wet on wet technique. I'm going to go back to my blue now, just a little bit, and make it a little bit. Well, that didn't work. So I think I will go to my red violet and see what's going on with the red violet. When you touch down on your palette, give it some water there. Kind of loosen it out because it's very thick. So loosen it out. All right, now I'm going to start again, see if anything good is going to come of this. I don't know. And sometimes if you go like this and just dab at it, you can start something going. So I'm going to let it drain for a while because I'm just very curious. So I would like you to take your, most of you are doing this, take your board and tilt it. Tilt it any way you want. Observe the effects. When you tilt it, you must put that pad underneath it. And don't be afraid to do it. If you're afraid of dripping, stay out of the kitchen. You just have to be bold and have some Bonami cleanser ready for your kitchen sink every time you do this. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to take a little salt and I'm going to throw it just for the fun of it. There you go.
Where are you throwing the salt?
I'm sorry?
Where are you throwing the salt?
I'm throwing it at the wet areas. Now, as you can see, it looks dark now, but when it dries, it will come out white. And then you simply brush it off and you get this lovely star effect. So this is painting number 1, an experiment. If I wanted to just further experiment, I could hold it the other way. I could hold it this way and see how fat I could get those lines. I like the very vibrant colors. So I think, saying that, I'm going to put some more purple right there. Wash your brush, touch it on the towel. Okay. I want to really see. There we go. Oh, now you're cooking. Don't be afraid of the color. I hope all of you will allow yourself to purchase some kind of watercolor set. Not the pan set, but the tubes. The tubes, because they're very intense. Now I see here, something's happening that I don't like. It's got an edge, so I'm just going to continue that. At this point, you might either leave your brush in the jar or just lay it to one side. Take another brush, maybe your middle brush, and coax some of those drips if you want to. In this, you would say, I'm establishing a pattern. I want to have this color, and I want it to drip this way. So I am distributing, I'm balancing and distributing my colors. This is the way I really want to hold it. I like what the salt is doing over in this area. I like the darkness and the hard edges over here. I like the soft blurry edges because they indicate that there is something in the background. All right, at this point, I'm going to remove carefully the rubber bands. And we're going to go on to another one. At the very end of the lesson, this should be fairly dry. If it is not, I have newsprint in the back so that you can carefully take it home. And also, we want to take some photographs of your work, so please be prepared to leave them on the desks, the tables. If you have no space on your table, at this point, put it underneath the table or underneath the chair. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next paper. Incidentally, this is a painting of mine that I started and then I let it dry. It was too dull, so I wet it over again and put more intense colors in it, threw a lot of salt on it. Another technique is called splattering, which we did when we were doing the knapseed, the knapweed flower. This, of course, is getting more into it by trying different backgrounds. Okay, so I'm glad that you all decided that you wanted to use the rubber bands. So I think it's good to explore new options. So in we go. There we go. Sometimes it just slips in, sometimes it doesn't. Are there any questions up to this point? Okay. Again.
Mine looks like a blob.
Oh. Nothing happens right away. All right? If you want to know more techniques, if you have, as one student said, a blob, throw some salt at it. Why are you laughing? Throw some salt at it, and you'll get this beautiful night sky. Okay? And then you can make some mountains in the background that are black. And no, you can do something with it. That's why you don't judge yourself right away. You walk away, the next day you look at it again, walk away, next day look at it again. And then something, oh, you know, then you start to think. Show it to the mirror will tell you the truth. I don't like your work. Oh, shut up, mirror, I don't care. All right, so we've done a background of blue. Let's go back for just a minute. Oh no, that's okay. That was a yellow and blue. Let's see what else. It's a yellow and red. All right, let's get bold. Let's do yellow with some red. See what's happening. Explore different colors. You might even want to just do a green. What did we do? All right, let's just get wet. You should be okay with your water still. It should still be fairly clear. So let's wet up, wet on wet. I'm curious. Let's do a red-violet sky, okay? All right, here I go. I'm going to get a lot of water and a lot of red-violet on my brush right now, and I'm going to strike it. Ooh, I like that. Oh, let's get excited. Let's get some red violet going. So your technique is either putting the brush going this way, this way, this way, just bringing the drips down, or you can just completely wet the brush and wet the last part that you did and hold it over the paper. And then just go back, keep doing it. And then maybe start layering with something else. Let me try the blue. I wonder what would happen if I put it right here. So that's another thing. I wonder what would happen if. What if I wanted to go up and down a little bit, like I was making mountains and plains? What would that be like? Let's see. I think I'd like to do an orange, so I'm going to take some yellow, because I know that yellow and red make orange, and I'm just going to tip it in there. I know I'll get some green because I know how to mix my colors. So now I'm taking a little bit more control. Sometimes the paper and the paint just tells you what to do, and sometimes you can turn the tables on it. Now I'm going to go into the red. See what that's going to do. Sort of. Not too happy with that. Oop, there goes a drip. I think I'd like to see what would happen if I intensified around that blue. And of course, you don't have to do the exact colors I'm doing. If you feel that you want to do your own particular colors. I might try turning this. I'm still wet. I still have some advantage. I see I'm getting dry in here. Time to turn and look and see what's going on. Getting some weird designs. Just weird. Wanting to be bold, I'm going to start to touch it here. Now you have to be careful at any point where you start to get dry and you start to dabble. You're on your own ground. You really have to be, you're not under the control of the paint anymore. So you have to be careful you're not representing. Because you want to keep it loose. And you do not have to do it completely straight across. You can touch it in small places. And then you say, okay, I've lost my smoothness. I don't like that. So wet it. Wet the edge. If you wet the edge, then you've got your soft blurred coming back. Also, you can pick up the paint like this with a brush that has nothing but water on it. So it will just pick it up again. Another thing, if you like this color, And I'm going to put this down to show you, well, oh no, I can do it from here. I'm going to splatter, I'm going to throw the paint at the paper. For you who are sitting down, you're not going to do that. You're going to use your finger. You're going to take the brush and tap it on your finger. Bunk, bunk, bunk. Oh, that was too much. Okay, I got too wet. Don't like it. So I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is where, yes, you might get it on the floor. So I think what I might do, Sean is growling at me. Okay. So I'm going to spritz it with the pad underneath it. And of course you want to spritz that color against an opposing color. I think if I put some yellow spritz down here, that might be nice. So we're into spritzing right now. Oop, that was too much, too much, too much. Oh, but it's such fun. Then you start to say to yourself, well, what am I doing? And what is this? Does it look like anything? Okay, now you're at the does it look like anything stage of the painting. If your painting is dull, take the yellow and strike it. People saying, who is she talking to? Oh, you know who I'm talking to. If you have a blob or a lot of really dull color, it's because you have mixed complementary colors, because that's what happens. If you mix your yellow and your violet too much and you work it up, you're going to get a dull gray or brown. Don't let that happen to you. If it's happening to you and your paper's still wet, you're saved. Just take a good color. I don't care what it is. All right, we're going to take blue and start dabbing. Just start dabbing sideways and let it drip down. If the color pleases you, your goal is accomplished. So if I want to take, so now I have that blue balancing, and it's kind of like meandering through the entire painting. It's time to spritz. It's time to spritz. If you're able, over the drip, can you hold up your painting so I can see what you're doing? Perhaps I can make a suggestion. Okay. Blue. The mountains, the tops of the mountains would be good. They were darker blue. That's a good darkness. I like that one. I like that. Make sure we take a photograph of that. You want to hold it up so the other students can see. Okay, please, I don't know your name. Michelle. Please look at Michelle. She has some nice, some lovely colors. She has pinks and blues and just beautiful colors. Thank you, Michelle. Beverly, let me see yours. Also, too, yes. If you can see the vibrancy of the colors.
Mine doesn't have any colors.
Is it wet right now?
Kind of.
Okay, then you're still saved. Take a nice, strong red violet and strike it through. See what happens.
I think I used my paints all.
You used all your red violet?
Yeah, my paints are over.
Okay, then let's use, do you,
Oh, I have my supplies.
that's okay. I'm looking to see if we have any supplies in the back.
I still have my black and white.
Beverly, is there supplies in the back?
Not a red violet.
So actually, that's a question I have. How to be resourceful on giving out.
Okay, red, violet. Red and blue make a violet.
But I mean, how can we save our paints to use it like in a way that could last longer? I mean, I did something wrong that my paint over everybody.
Oh, I could give you bigger portions. Okay, you know what? There's a cardboard box over there on the table. Go over there. There are tubes, and just simply squeeze some more paint on your palette. Okay. You should never restrict yourself. If I've given you a small portion, I've left the tubes in the box on the table over there. I mean, don't spritz the whole tube on the palette, but oh, it's a small. Yeah, there's little tubes. You don't need much. It's intensified. That's why I wanted you to buy the tubes. Okay. All right. How are we doing? I didn't check over here. Ah, interesting. You know, there are a lot of tutorials now on YouTube for abstract watercolor. Don't be shy. Some of them are boring. Some of them will give you something. Take advantage of everybody who's got a tutorial if you're really interested. Now this one didn't have a lot of things in it, so I think I want to just wash out the yellow a little bit, and maybe I could work with this. This might be one of those paintings that I would just simply leave to one side, let it dry, and just go do it again. All right, let's go on. Everyone has enough paper for 4 drawings or paintings. So let's go on to the third one. I think
We have enough paper.
you definitely, I gave enough of 4.
There wasn't any on this table.
Oh, really? Oh, steel, just steel. I think where Beverly is, there's nobody at the next one. No, right over here. Yeah, just take 2 more sheets of paper. Okay, on we go.
Does she have enough paper?
Yes, I put 8 sheets at each table. Okay. There we go. I think what we need to practice, what would help our friend here, is practicing strokes. The strokes. Your strokes need to be bolder. So we could practice that. There's the thin stroke and the thick stroke. And I think in our next one, we'll incorporate some different strokes. All right, let's put our rubber band on our third one. I'm watching my time because we do want to give out the awards. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. For everyone who came today, there should be a little gift of pencil and some paper, sketch-wise paper, not painting paper. Of course, if there's anything left on the table, you can have that. Let's see what else we have. Let's experiment with the black. Oh, here's a dangerous one. We used to do this one with when we were just practicing, not the sumi, but when we were just practicing black ink. So it's a little dangerous, but hang on. All right, we're doing black. Let's start off with broad strokes a lot of water. We call it a loaded brush. It's loaded with water. Let us just do this. So a stroke can be stroking this way. And you can hold the brush either like a pencil, which is a little stiff when you're using a broad brush like this, or you can turn it so that you are holding it the same way almost that you would spritz. You're holding it in this hand and you're holding it down. So let's try this. We're holding it with our thumb and our middle finger, and the forefinger is going to help with the stroke. So let's wetting it up, and we're stroking. More waters. When you stroke, stroke from the top going down. You see there's a little lip of water. Stand over the table. A little lip of water, and you can see it dripping down, covering your hand. Sometimes I like to hold it at the very, very end of the brush. All right, so we're just doing, let's just do water and let's watch our stroking. How are we doing with the stroking? Let me see you stroking. Stroke. Okay, let's just stroke one way. Let's try the one-way stroke. What am I talking about? This. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Water. Tap, tap. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Water. Tap, tap, tap. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Well, when you were taking ballet, you did this, didn't you? Stroke, stroke, stroke. Oh, you didn't take ballet? Okay. Same thing, over and over and over. Exhausting. All right. Stroke, stroke. And now, dip the tip into the black paint. Touch the center and turn. More black paint. Touch and turn. Touch and turn. Black. You had two on the palette. One was black and one was red violet. Did you not get a black? Ah. Uh-huh.
My thing is running. Is it supposed to be running?
It's supposed to run. It's supposed to run. A little more water, a little more black paint. Touch, tip. If it's gray, leave it alone. Keep it turning. Keep it turning. You've got to turn faster. Keep it turning. Touch it and leave it alone. If it gets too sharp, put some water underneath it. What you're doing is looking for something. Put it on a different place. If it's not running, then you did not wet your paper enough. Layer it. In other words, you have your gray, so put that black right into it and turn it. You may or may not be able to manipulate it. Once you start not being able to manipulate it, you know that it's dried. I think this will have to be the last painting. But But I think this is important. I think doing black and white is very important. Such as when you are doing portraits, it is better to do them in charcoal pencil, black and white, to get your shades first. And sometimes when you're starting with your watercolor, it's much better to do it in one color. Now I'm going to start looking at the balance. Now it's starting to look like, you know, some squished insect. So I'm going to see, oh, it got dry there. Okay, now it's really getting dry. I must make a decision. Does this look like anything? Well, I can see a flower in there if you like black flowers. Squished bug. People running for their lives. I don't know. But what I'm looking for also is the balance. Where does your eye see a balance? I don't see a balance this way. There's too much white space there. I wouldn't hold it like this. I don't like that. Possibly if this were something laying on a table. Again, the weight. Where is the weight? The weight seems to be on this side. I'm going to have to go with this. So what I want to do is I want to experiment with a second color, but I'm not sure what it will be. So I'm going to wash my brush, dry it off, and look at my palette. It's your decision now. Whatever you say. I'm going to try yellow. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea. No predictors. All I know is if I put it the wrong way, it's going to be a dry on dry. And that's a predictable movement. I don't know if I want it to be so predictable. So I'm just going to dab it for a minute. And ask myself, do I want this to happen? I don't know. I'm going to wet again, see if I can get a soft edge. In doing so, I notice that the paint is going into my black and causing a white path. Not sure if I really like that. But I'm going to keep at it because I chose it, and that's my new experiment. You can touch the very soft edges of your black. And because you need a balance of color, you must put it in a few other places. That is what we mean by the balance. Possibly it will turn out to be something pleasant, and possibly not. But it's the practice that we need at this point. And maybe you don't want it so intense. And so with the water, allow it to blur off. If I did my yellow here and here, I must choose to balance it somewhere else. As far as landscaping goes, you can create mountains. I rather like to do underwater scenes because it seems more compatible with the themes. A little bit easier. You want something that's going to give you some kind of pleasure. So right now we're teaching you to balance the colors within your abstract. to show weight, to show movement. I'm not throwing salt or spritzing at this point. I'm studying my balance of color. And you don't have a mirror to look at, but I do. I can look into the camera and see where it needs some more color. Well, I see you didn't need the padding as much as I thought. Although some of you seem to be in full puddle right now. I can tell. If you want to throw salt at it, that's fine. If you want to spritz at it, that's fine. Also, you have a tissue. So if you want to take it and you're absolutely dissatisfied with a couple of things, then simply do what we call lifting. Lift out the color by pressing in and pulling out. Now, if there is any paper, you may take it home. Are you dry enough so that you can lift them up at this point? Because we are coming to a close. No. Okay. All right. We have 5 minutes to go, and I need that time for the presentations. But if you will leave them so that they're all on display, that would be very, very nice. You don't have to like it. I don't like this one.
I'm happy with mine.
I like yours. I like it better than mine. Yeah, I do.
I think mine is C.
See what happens?
Learn how to use the brush.
Absolutely. It's all a matter of, like I said, like ballet. You just practice and practice. Come out with something beautiful. I'm going to ask you at this point, please put your pictures together on the tables so that when Sean comes by, he can get a shot of each one and let them dry. Take everything else and kind of put it to one side. So please do that now. You can put them on the edge of the table. You can put them in a matter so that when he comes by, can see which side is up, which is down. So if you had even one success today or one thing that pleases you, you have reached your goal. Raise your hand if you think you've had at least one that pleased you. Good for you. I applaud you. Good for you. You did it. All right, Sean is coming around, and isn't that is lovely. That is lovely. We had some new students today, and I do hope when we come back after the new year that they will join us again. We don't just do painting in this class. We do photography, solar photography, which we did last time. We do pottery, learn pottery. There's been 22 classes. Plus, I did 2 classes that were not videotaped for the Alzheimer's Association, in which we did do pottery. And then we do print work. That was exciting. That was really nice. So it isn't always the same old thing, okay?
So the pottery, who's going to bake it? Where do you bake them?
Okay, someone's asking me about pottery. It was air dry clay that I bought, and you do not put it in the oven or else you're in for a really bad surprise. Really bad. At this point, I'm going to move my things aside and have you come up to get your awards. I do not want to miss that. Okay. And if I do make a mistake and I don't call your name and you know you've been here at least three out of the 4 times, please correct me because it might be on the table over there. So may I please have, oh, this lady's not present, but she is from the UK, and congratulations, Lorraine Foster. She's been very faithful and devoted to our classes. So, shout out. All right. And Sean will be mailing that to her.
Thank you so much.
Beverly
Wow.
McGinnis, correct? Beverly, come on up. Lisa Alexander, come on up. And let's see how close together we can get. And stay here. Lisa, where's Lisa? Yay. And Susan Lamfong.
Thank you.
Come over here, Jerry. Okay. Where is Susan? There she is. And Betty Fong. Where's Betty Fong? Ah. Okay, we're going to try to get everybody in. And Leilani LeBlanc.
Lonnie's not here.
Oh, all right. Well, she did accomplish her 3. And Helen Akamoto. Yay. Now, is there anyone else who knows they did 3 out of the 4?
I did 3.
And what was your name?
Yvonne.
Oh, yes. I think we do have a.
Missed last week was the only one I missed.
It's right here.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And this is Leilani's. Okay. All right. So please come up, Yvonne Garcia. Look at all these wonderful people. So devoted. You made it. You made it through. Do we have a full camera on them, Sean? Somebody need to move or anything?
Thanks, go on the other side.
Oh, if I go on the other side, okay. Woo. It's the fastest I've ever moved in a month.
Okay, quick, let me take a picture.
Look
Look
up,
right here.
right? Okay, look at his hand. Look
Okay,
up.
ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
It was a
very
wonderful
much.
class.
Oh, I'm so
Need
glad.
to see you again next year.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So people, let me just fly in the back and get those. Do you want to fly in the? Oh, are we okay? Yeah, just maybe just a few to show.
Which one?
All the ones with the bows. I hope I made enough. Okay.
Do you just want one to show? Or
Uh,
pass it out?
Just one to show, and then I guess I will pass them out. Yeah. So what we're doing, what I did. Oh, thank you. Okay. When we did this sketch class, our pencils were a little too light. So what I did was purchase pencils that were a little bit darker and 10 pieces of sketch paper for portraiture. So please indulge. And for the new students, I think there's some packets that just have the paper. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. And I just want to very quickly say that PBS is having a silent auction, and one of my pastels, 19A, will be auctioned off. 19A, I think on this coming Sunday will be auctioned off for the benefit of PBS KVIE. And lastly, my brother's going to be 88 years old. So, Lou, happy birthday. Louis Solano, West Virginia. Love you, dear. Bye-bye. Love you, everybody. Come back. Thank you. This is Lisa. Where's Lisa?